And in today's Wine Club, poured by HEB, we've got your guide to Zinfandels.
Yeah, with Mr. Nicholas Perkins from what Zins are known for, even the best dishes that will complement your wine. HEB specialist Nick Perkins is walking us through the tasting. Okay, so Zinfandel, people hear this word. It's much different than a white Zinfandel, and there are a lot of white Zinfandel fans out there, but if you don't like white Zinfandel, you might love the red.
Correct. So white Zinfandel is that pink, really sweet wine that we associate with, drinkers that love sweet wines, right? Like Moscato drinkers. But red Zinfandel is actually a dry red wine. It's made in very full-bodied styles. They're juicy, sometimes referred to as jammy, and it's a really cool grape. It's pretty versatile. You can make rosé from it as well.
My favorite. I love that we're starting with this today because when I like a Zinfandel is like when it's a little cooler outside because it can sometimes be kind of spicy.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
Let's get started with our first one.
So the first one we're going to taste is the Vanita Primitivo. Primitivo is the Italian word for Zinfandel. So anytime you're shopping an Italian wine section and you see Primitivo, know that you're drinking Zinfandel. Zinfandel, before we get to that, is a really cool grape because it's one of the longest, most continually planted grapes in the world, dating back to 6000 BC in Croatia. So centuries ago, it crosses the Adriatic Sea, gets on the eastern portion of the Italian boot, and lands in a region called Puglia, which is where this wine is coming from. So this particular wine is going to give us luscious berry notes on the nose, some subtle earthy aromas as well, and it is surprisingly complex for $15.
Wow, this is so nice, and it definitely has that drier up front note, but it gives you kind of the zing at the end. I don't know if those are actual real wine tasting descriptions.
You're so accurate on that because what you're going to get on this one is going to have a little more zippy acidity.
Okay.
Whereas this one is going to be more about like structured tannins. So that's very perceptive of you.
Oh.
Well, and also, I was one of those people who didn't touch Zinfandel for years because I just assumed that it was going to be like drinking apple juice. This is very dry and lovely. All right, so 15 bucks, sign me up. Let's move on to the next bottle.
So next up is L'Astoria, which is a wine from Trentadue Winery. Trentadue Winery is one of the oldest wineries in Alexander Valley. This is classic California Zin. It's juicy, it's jammy, it's got lovely blueberry and plum notes on the nose. You're going to get some hints of tobacco smoke, vanilla, cinnamon, and that comes from the oak aging.
Oh my gosh, they're both totally good, but totally different.
Completely different styles of wine.
Yes,
Same
this
grape.
is not, and this is lighter. You can tell, I think, in seeing just the color and like the thickness of the wine, but this is so full. It's lovely.
It is for people that like full-bodied wines like Cabernet, Syrah, for example. This should be in your repertoire.
It's nice and not heavy.
No. What's the price on this bottle?
This one is around $20. And what I also love about this wine is that the bottle presentation is beautiful. So I love giving it as gifts. I love bringing it to dinner parties. Certainly around the holidays.
It's a beautiful bottle.
Yeah, it looks fancy. Also, these are served slightly chilled today for us on set, but in general, would you chill them a little bit?
I would pour this wine at about 60 degrees. Cellar temperature is around 55. I want to see this a little slightly warmer than that. But room temperature, when we refer to wine, doesn't mean room temperature at 70, 75 degrees. It actually, we think of it more of like a cold, damp, dark house in France. That type of temperature.
Lovely. I like it.
Cold, damp, dark house in France. Okay, we got it. And you guys are having a Zinfandel promotion right now at HEB. 10% off?
That's right. It started today. It's going to run through November 2nd. 10% off all domestic Zinfandels. And of course, if you get 6 or more, you get an additional 10% as well.
I love it. Nicholas, I know you love to talk about wines. Go see you at my favorite location in the Heights.
Totally her favorite.
It is my favorite. And you're my favorite, too. Thanks for coming in.
Cheers.
And you're going to dress up for Halloween, right?
I am.
Okay, so if you go to HEB in the Heights, look for Nicholas. He'll be wearing a costume.
Not true.
No, do it. If you'd like to join our Houston Life Wine Club poured by HEB, just visit our website to register. You'll also, of course, have access to exclusive giveaways and even a chance to have a virtual tasting with us here on Houston Life.
It's super fun. As a reminder, you can find today's featured wine at your local HEB, but go see Nick in the Heights.
Cheers.
Cheers.